Hey everyone, and welcome back to Eternal Strands. On this video, we're doing the quest, the Loom Gates. So we need to reforge the sword and shield, and that means we need to complete the Treading Water quest, which is a companion quest. For that, we need to consult with Casman to learn about improving the base camp. So she is, of course, right down here.
Hey, I know we need to fix up the forge, but before we do, I'd like to talk to you about something.
Sure. What's up?
I owe you an apology.
What for?
I've been a little cold since you've arrived, and I should have been more welcoming. I was just under a lot of stress with everything that happened.
You mean when we ran for our lives from a death cloud into a lost land?
Yeah, that. And losing supplies, and Aurea getting injured, and then having a point takeover who...
Lacks experience.
At the time, that's what it seemed like. But ever since we arrived, you've been more than proving yourself. You made finding food and water a top priority. That's when I realized our Weaver Band is in good hands. I underestimated you when I shouldn't have, and frankly, I was a jerk about it.
It's okay, Cass.
No, it's not. I really am sorry. I hope we can have a better relationship moving forward.
Thanks. That means a lot. Let's just start fresh, okay?
I'd love that.
She mentioned she was under a lot of stress. Wonder how she's doing now.
How are you feeling now that we're starting to get settled?
If this is settled, I'd hate to see us scrambling. I have a hard time letting my guard down when there are so many unknowns. We're still missing supplies, and our campsite isn't half what it should be. Can't see myself relaxing and smelling the roses anytime soon.
She was afraid of having an incompetent point. Ask why she places importance on the role.
The role of point seemed really serious to you. Can I ask why that is?
Because it is serious. If you screw up, we all die.
That seems... extreme.
Think of it this way. Let's say we're low on food in the desert. If you scout 3 leagues in the wrong direction, we're all 3 leagues further away from food we need to survive.
Right. I guess I see what you mean. Still sounds like an extenuating circumstance, though.
And being the first to enter the Enclave in almost half a century isn't an extenuating circumstance.
Point taken, I suppose.
Lane mentioned that she was once training to be point. Worry she's upset that it's me.
You know, when talking to Lane, they mentioned that you actually trained to become point yourself. I was wondering if that had something to do with why we weren't getting along.
Oh, no. Being point just... wasn't for me. That's all.
Glad we squared away our differences. Offer to help with Sola's forge.
So, I know Sola mentioned improvements to her forge meant being able to hone my sword. What does that entail exactly?
Unfortunately, the missing supplies I mentioned.
Is there a way I can help you restock?
Right now, we reserve the materials you bring back for your armors and weapons, because that's the priority. But if there's anything you can spare, I can repurpose them into supplies for our campsite.
Sounds simple enough.
Glad to hear it.
Okay, repurpose resources into supplies for the camp. We need 10. Oh, and she wants to talk.
Kaz, what you said about the point role not being for you. Lane said the training was going well, and then one day, it just stopped. Can I ask why?
Honestly, it was just too much for me. The responsibility that comes with being point. I guess I caved under pressure. Leaping headfirst into danger isn't for everyone. What made you decide to become a point?
The discoveries. Impress upon her the hold that magic has had on me from a young age.
Neither of my parents were weavers, but my dad would tell me stories about the Enclave as a child.
You became a point because of a bedtime story.
What can I say? Magic gripped me at a young age and never let go. Now that I'm a point, the possibilities are endless.
And has being point given you what you're looking for?
So far, yeah.
Good. For a long time, I felt like I let Aurea down. She wanted me to continue with the training, but I just couldn't. When she offered to keep me on as a quartermaster, I was surprised. In time, it made sense, though. I always enjoyed the planning of my expeditions, more than the expeditions themselves.
So you've been happier as a quartermaster?
Yes, this is much more my speed. Besides, someone needs to hang out with Arva. Seriously, I'm more than happy to leave the creature wrangling to you.
I'm not sure I have what it takes to pack a caravan anyway.
I've seen how messy your tent is. You most definitely do not.
Okay, salvage resources. So, you visit Casman to break your resources into supplies, which is just general resource for upgrading. And they're used for multiple things over the course of Bryn's adventure. Okay, so we do have a lot of rough leather. We'll just break those down. So these give 1 supply each. There we go.
These are a great start. With the supplies we've got already, we could shape up our campsite. We lost a lot of stuff when we were running for our lives, and frankly, our setup is only half of what it should be. But we can rebuild.
What do you have in mind?
Like we discussed, Sola could forge better weapons with improvements to her smithy. Like honing your sword so it can cut through arc armor. Alternatively, Dom could certainly care better for our mantles with new tools for weaving. And to keep you in fighting form, having Lane's alchemical tools in top form is invaluable. There's no end to the improvements we could make around here. And everyone's lives would be safer for it.
What about you?
Me? Oh, I don't need anything.
Come on, there must be something.
I mean, wouldn't new shelves be nice? Sure. I also have some ideas for your supply pouches. But don't worry about me. I'm fine. Right now, improving Sola's forge is more important.
Sounds like improvements could be made. Tell her I'm on it.
I know our band has made the most of what we've got so far, but who wouldn't like a fresh coat of paint? This is a great idea. You can count on me.
Thanks, Bryn.
Okay, use the supplies to upgrade a station in the camp. So, upgrade station. And it's going to be Sola's Forge. She'll now be able to upgrade weapons and armor pieces to level 2.
Sola is delighted with the improvements to her forge. She can refine your sword as soon as you'd like. Great work, Bryn.
Turns out we make a pretty good team. This campsite will be top of the line in no time.
Yeah. We're definitely going to need to start directing a water flow to the camp. Maybe even install a fountain in the back. Would help to get a garden going in here too. Fruits, vegetables, medicinal herbs. Oh, that reminds me, we'll need the... What?
Do you ever take a break? You know, to enjoy a job well done?
Sure. Sometimes. Once there are fewer fires to put out, I'll relax. I swear.
Everyone is here to help. Reassure her she's not alone.
Just try to remember, it's not the end of the world if you take a break. Someone will step in to help lighten your load.
It doesn't always feel like the others realize how much needs to get done.
Then tell them. Like how you told me we needed supplies. I stepped in to help, didn't I?
You did. I see your point.
The others will do the same.
Maybe. I'd better get back to work, but... this was nice.
Alright, treading water is complete. So, consult with Sola about the present Casman mentioned. So if we look at our quests now for the Loom Gates, now we have to complete Honing the Edge. And Casman wants to talk. We'll talk to her in a bit. So does Dom.
I knew we'd recover. We always do. Still feels nice to have my core tools back this quickly.
Still a long way to go, but we'll get there.
Speaking of, I've something for you. We've been scavenging around the way station and reclaimed a fair amount of useful materials. They're stored away and ready for you. Should be enough to reforge your sword as we discussed.
My sword is the priority, but ask what else she can reforge.
Can you also reforge armor? Improve my bow?
Sure can. Weapons or armor, we can rework them with different materials as you prefer.
Should I reforge or prioritize new gear, I wonder? Ask.
What's the key difference between reforging my gear and just making something new?
If you want gear that does something fundamentally different, make something new. For instance, there are fabrics, metals, leathers, and so on that are highly resistant to heat. A suit of armor made of a combination of those would have been incredible against the Drake you faced in the Veil's shadow. If you don't need something additional, and just want to improve what you already have, that's when you reforge. Keeps the clutter down in the caravan.
What kinds of improvements, I wonder? Ask for extra details.
What should I expect from a reforged sword?
It depends on the materials we use. Some hold edge better, making your swipes that much more deadly. Others make your gear lighter. Or, for something like armor, change the way it handles heat and cold.
That's all I need to know. See if she's ready to start.
Sounds like it's time to make something that can punch through arc armor.
That's the spirit.
Okay, reforge your sword and shield at the forge. So, reforge. Reforging, all of Bryn's gear can be reforged to swap out lower quality materials for stronger ones of the same category. So just replacing what you have. And new materials will change both the appearance and the stats. So we're gonna reforge our mundane sword and shield. And let's see, we could use thick hide or hard leather. I like the thick hide, that's an additional 10 weapon power. Then, instead of iron, we'll use steel. That's a big upgrade. Softwood, we've got ironwood instead. And instead of red cotton, we could either go with dense acolifer or luster weave. I'm liking the dense acolifer. Alright, reforge. That's a huge upgrade. Equip.
There you go. Not just good as new. Better.
Now that I can cut the carapace free, what's next?
Whenever the band is collaborating on a problem, I'm often the one to create the design, and you'll put it together with me. At least normally they're my designs. Sev actually came up with this one. With carapace and enough metal, I can forge his patch for the leaking conduit.
Any particular metal required?
No, just enough of the same type. Sev and I try to keep our designs flexible, to work with whatever we've got in the caravan. Once you have everything we need, we'll forge the patch here.
Alright, we got Sev's Fantabulous. We got Sev's Fantabulous conduit patch that we need to craft. But to do that, we need to cleave the carapace from the Towering Arc in Glintwood Hollow. Let's talk to Sola again. And I'm going to craft. Oh, I've also... Oh, there's the Fantabulous conduit patch. We need that carapace. But I would like a head armor. We've got this Opportunist's Mask. I think I've got enough. Let's see. We got Fire Bloom Fibers or Vexed Cambric. I actually prefer cold resistance over heat. So even though that's a lot of heat, losing the cold is pretty bad. So I think I'd prefer just doing this instead. It's a little more armor. We'll go with the Vexed Cambric. And then iron we'll have to do. Let's see, Dense Acolifer or Fire Bloom Fiber. We'll go Dense Acolifer. And... well, that's not very good. I guess we'll just do softwood for the last one. Not the best, but it'll work.
Nice to work on something a little lighter every once in a while.
And it increases our max magic, which I like. Alright, so we got a headpiece now. Whereas we didn't before. Oh, and she wants to talk.
Well pleased with the Reforge. There's another option too. We can enhance your gear.
Not the same thing?
No. Enhancing uses more of the same materials from the original construction. I use them to add a bit more protection to your armor, reinforce your blades and such. Worth doing if you have extra materials. I'll be able to do more as we build my smithy's set of tools back up.
Alright. Who else would like to chat? That's right. Dom wants to. Hi, Dom.
Color me delighted that we're starting to restore our capabilities around the camp. When the time comes, I'll work with Casmin to create some new tools here.
Then we can start weaving more intricate strands into my mantle, right?
Yes. You harvest, I'll weave, and we'll have you channeling such magics.
Lane would also like to chat.
A crafter is only as good as their tools, they say.
Glad we're starting to upgrade the camp then.
Very much so. There are alchemical formulas I simply can't create for you without the right alembics and specifically treated crucibles. Once I have those, we'll be set. Many of the plants and minerals I'm after are within safe distance of the camp, so I'll be able to gather them myself.
Okay, and I think Casmin also wanted to talk.
When we've got supplies to spare, I have ideas for improving your pack. If we do it right, you'll be able to bring more resources back. It's all about load distribution.
And shelves.
God, yes.
Okay, let's look at the other station upgrades. For Casmin's Caravan, if we upgrade to level 2, we'll get 15 slots for our inventory and 4 resources saved if we get pulled out. Solo's Forge can go to 3, or can't go to 3 at the moment. Lane's Archive can go to level 2. That will give us some potions that give us frost and heat resistance, which are very good. But that's 20 supplies. And then Dom's Atelier is 50 resources to upgrade Mantle Powers to level 2. So that's a big cost. I would like to get the inventory space for 20, so let's see what we can do with that. More rough leather, for sure. Maybe some iron, and maybe we'll go 3 more of each. That'll work. Alright, more inventory space. Okay, and then level 3 for her is 18 inventory slots and 5 resources saved. But we can't get that upgrade at the moment. Okay. I believe we're ready to head out. Looks like it. Okay. Let's go. So we have a much stronger sword now. Even against these boxes, it's just shredding them. So that'll be a huge help. And maybe I can even keep some of these resources this time. We'll see. So, making our way to the Ark. I think we'll take the middle path this time. There's an enemy, but we do have our explodey ball. that softwood. The heck was that sound? I don't know. I'm gonna keep going. Oh, shredded him. I'm liking this damage. Alright, explodey ball here. There tends to be chameleons in this area. Not seeing any at the moment. Oh, wait. What's that right there? Nothing. Huh. No enemies at all? That doesn't seem right. But apparently. Strange. Okay, we'll go this way. Okay. Oh, what's that? Fire bloom fiber. I am expecting chameleons, and I didn't get them. I got this guy instead. Oh, there's one. Do we have a ball? We do. Stay there for me, chameleon. Where'd he go? Right there. You didn't like that. Arrow's right in his head. Alright, throw him in the fire. Nice. Alright, grab that stuff. And there's our arc.
You're coming up on the Ark of the Stricken Earth. With a stronger sword, hopefully the carapace will come off easy.
This might take a while.
You'll need to swing harder to cut through armor that thick.
What's happening?
Retrieving the carapace is going to be trickier than we thought.
Is she really ready to fight that thing?
Catch your breath. When you're ready, you can climb the Ark to attack it from different angles.
Alright, let's grab on. We're gonna take off this piece of armor if I could get to it. Oh, I gotta cling on. Hold on or he'll kick us off.
That's it. Hit the exposed skin with everything you've got. Magic isn't coursing through that patch of skin anymore. Move on.
Okay, let's work on the other leg. I'm having trouble getting on, getting her to climb. There we go. Whoa, okay, kicked. All right, can't do the legs anymore. Let's go a little bit higher, or let's can't do the bottom of the legs. We can do sort of the thighs. Alright, we'll go for this thigh. Oh, Klingon. Alright, we need to go higher up. Klingon, I don't know if I need to. No, I'm off the leg, so it would have been fine. So he's gonna try to grab us. There we go, chest is exposed. Oh, I thought he was trying to grab. Never mind. I'm not there, silly. Having trouble hitting this. There we go. All right, let me go to the arm.
Now that's how it's done.
You are unstoppable,
I was worried we might lose our chance to get the carapace, but you secured it.
Any concerns about using the Archon strand, Dom?
Concerns? None. Excitement? Considerable. We should be able to weave that strand into your mantle, Bryn.
Okay, so let's see. We got some Rassault, some Steel Knit, and more Rassault. Okay, work with Sola to craft Sev's Fantabulous Conduit Patch. So we gotta head back. And I could heal, but it seems unnecessary. Let's take this chest though. Any enemy? Yes, we've got an archer. Catch! Okay, safely back at camp. Day 2 afternoon. Oh, she's got the dismantle option now. Let's take a quick look. So you can dismantle your weapons and armor and you get all of your resources back, so there's no loss. So it's quite nice. And those materials go back to the camp inventory. I don't actually want to break anything down at the moment, just wanted to show it. And let's craft. Sev's Fantabulous Conduit Patch. Oh, we have just enough iron. And carapace, or carapace.
Perfect.
You think this patch will fix the leaking pipe?
Yes. And with the debris cleared, why don't you tell Aria we've got everything we need to fix the loom gate?
Me?
Acting or otherwise, major communication should come from the point.
I'll keep that in mind.
Okay, consult with Aurea to tell her that the patch is ready.
The patch is ready, and I've cleared the debris at the loom gate in Glintwood Hollow.
Excellent work, Bryn. Time for you to take a well-earned rest while the band heads into the Hollow.
You sure you don't need me to come?
We've got this. And you need the break.
All right, if you say so.
Resting at any time in the camp You can rest in the tent to advance time. Day will advance to night, and night will advance to the next day. So rest at your tent while the team attempts a
Sola
loom
seems
gate repair.
pretty pleased with the upgrades to her forge. I think she might want to thank you, Bryn.
She already did. Okay, time to rest.
Aurea, how's it going?
Bryn, you're awake. We're making progress over here. Careful with that.
Hey, no one came back to camp, did they? Is the rest of the band still with you?
We're all here. And the leak is just about fixed.
Hey, wait, I just want to talk. That was incredible.
Hey, couldn't have done it without you.
Actually, we couldn't have done it without Sev. I didn't expect you to have such a deft hand with magical conduits.
I'm not... I mean... We just got lucky it held.
Not to distract from the victory, but something happened while you were gone. I saw something. Well, someone.
A Hearthsider?
Maybe. The figure was masked and standing at the edge of the camp. I think they were watching me. Before they disappeared.
How friendly.
If there are people still left in the Enclave, we need to find them. They can tell us what happened here.
Yes. I was just thinking we should chase down the scary masked figure that likes to watch Bryn sleep.
Maybe I scared the figure off. Speculate the Hearthsiders could be fearful of us.
Hey, even asleep, I am a pretty fearsome presence. Seriously, though. We just burst through their veil, defeated their massive arc, and powered up their lost enchantments. Wouldn't you be scared of us if you were an Enclave Weaver?
That's actually not a bad point.
Friendly or hostile, if there are Hearthsiders, we need to find them.
Agreed.
And the good news is, fixing the Loom Gate didn't just give us easier access to Glintwood. It expanded our scry's reach.
So scries are somehow connected to the Enclave's tapestry?
Every scry was built here.
This means you not only have access to the Loom Gate, but you can safely explore further.
Incidentally, our maps indicate that there is a village beyond the Hollow in a large swathe of wetlands known as Dredger's Mire.
Perhaps we'll find our Hearthsider there. Bryn, why don't you brief with Lane before your next expedition?
Sounds good.
After that, it's time to use the Loom Gate.
Why didn't you guys return using it yourselves?
We needed to take a key swatch back to camp in order to connect the two. We'll make sure you have a key swatch to connect any other loom gates to this one from now on.
Okay, so our quest is complete. We're now on day 4 morning. Let's see if anyone in the camp wants to chat. We've got Dom over here. Oh, and that was telling us we completed our quest. Let's weave strand. Mantles! Weavers channel magic through the strands of power woven into their mantles. And each mantle can only be attuned to strands of the same family. And by harvesting more strands from wild creatures around the Enclave, you can learn more abilities or make the abilities you have better. So we have new kinetic power. Ensnaring Blast. So, every time you create a new strand, or rather, every time a new strand is harvested, Dom can create an artificial strand that resonates with the harvested one. Basically, he's making the resonance stuff that we talked about in the first video. And some quest objectives require certain qualities of resonance, and that is directly tied to what level of strand you have. So just keep that in mind. If it asks for resonance, it's potentially asking for a quality of resonance, not just that resonance. So Ensnaring Blast is gonna draw objects and enemies in, and then you tap the button and it blasts them out. But it's not super impressive. It's not my favorite skill. Hey, there's the pop-up. The Loom Gates quest is complete. Alright. Casman wants to chat.
So, now that I'm done being frigid and unwelcoming,
You were only lukewarm.
sure. How about an icebreaker to get to know each other better?
Sounds fun. What have you got?
Simple. If you were a wild animal, what would you be?
Something grand and fearsome. Tell her I'd be an Ash Peak Drake.
Easy. Ash Peak Drake.
Mm-hmm. You fancy yourself majestic enough to inspire legends?
More like I'm fiery and driven.
Fine, I can see that.
And yourself? What animal would you be?
An Eastern Reef Crake.
A crake? Somehow I pictured fewer tentacles and destroyed ships in your wake.
You're thinking of the big ones. An Eastern Reef Crake is pretty small and harmless. But all crakes are misunderstood. They are incredibly intelligent creatures, and they diligently protect their eggs. They actually only attack when their nest is under threat. So yeah, I'd be a crake, happily living underwater. Normally, when you crack jokes in the face of dire circumstances, hives start breaking out on my skin.
Okay.
But when it comes to the masked Hearthsider, you might have a point. He could be scared of us. We are disassembling their enchantments left and right. And in the case of their arcs, dismembering.
Besides, who wouldn't quake in their boots at the sight of me? I am about as strapping as they come.
And here come the hives.
Okay. Don't know if anyone else wants to chat. Oh, Sola does.
I hope I'm not prying by bringing this up, but Dom and Arya told me about your last band.
Oh. Yeah.
Sounds like it was pretty rough.
It wasn't great, that's for sure. I mean, I gave up everything I knew to become a weaver. And it only took a couple of weeks for me to realize I had chased the wrong caravan out of town. All that band did was drink and fight. I stuck around, thinking I might be able to make a difference if I became point, but Aaron chose someone else to take his place in the end.
You're in better hands now. I promise. Even though I'm sure your last few days with us have been a lot. Do you have any regrets about leaving?
I did have a friend I couldn't say goodbye to. Tell her I have one regret.
I did have one friend in the band. Pelagia. She was their enchantress. She was actually the one who convinced Aaron to let me join them. Due to the nature of my departure, I wasn't able to say goodbye. I thought I would send her a letter the next time we stopped in a town.
Then we tumbled through the veil.
Yeah. I don't know what she must think of me.
If she's a true friend, she'll understand.
I hope so. Friends like her are rare.
That's what makes them special.
Okay, I would like to do another station upgrade. Obviously, we'll need supplies. What I want to do is upgrade Lane's archive to get those cold and heat resistance files. They're really good. So I need 20 supplies. So how are we gonna do that? Maybe some rough leather. Ren treated hide. Maybe a couple of Kala hides. Hired leather. Let's use some fire bloom fibers. That gets us to 16. I don't want to use any of my rare stuff. Let's do more leather. Okay. And resistance files, blue and orange for cold and heat. And it says it provides strong resistance, but it's kind of immunity. They're really, really good. And they only last for a short period of time, and they automatically refill when you return to camp. So you always have one of each every time you go on a fresh expedition. And then level 3 for her station will allow you to carry 4 vitality tonics, which could be really good. Okay. Nobody wants to chat, and I don't believe we got anything new for our codex. We did not. Oh, actually we did. Great foes. We've got a fragment that we need to turn into Lane, but we'll do that on the next video. So anyways, we're all done here. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.